Let's begin now.
Hello and welcome to this May edition of CPSB-TV at College Street Vocational Center. I'm Julia.
And I'm Avery. The countdown is on. It's the last time seniors are reporting to campus this week, and just 3 more weeks remain for everyone else.
Remember that grades and attendance still matter, so keep fighting the good fight to the finish line this school year. And while you're at it, show some love to your teachers.
It's Teacher Appreciation Week, and we know it's not a job for the faint of heart.
Would you say teens respect their teachers? Some may say yes and no. While half of your class shows a teacher respect, the other half may be totally disengaged.
CPSB-TV Reporter Jasmine Davis takes a deeper look into the divide between respect given and what others feel respect is earned.
We all know teachers teach, they plan, they show up, but many students are unaware of everything else their teachers do for them.
I care about the students, and I want to help benefit their lives, not only through teaching them content, but also helping to build their character and to help them become better people.
Drew Mills is a high school civics teacher at Barb. He says on any given day, he sees 2 very different attitudes from students.
When they greet me at the door and they have a smile on their face and they shake my hand, and then when they cooperate in class, and then some ways that they can be disrespectful, how they assume that I'm talking to them. Sometimes I may give them a direction or ask them to do something, and just their response can at times be disrespectful.
The disrespect can come from school-related stress for students, even problems with friends and family.
They can feel tired or overwhelmed, and while I might receive some of the resistance or disrespect, I know that personally it's not always intentional.
Mr. Mills also says there's a generational gap with the perception of authority. He says his generation grew up thinking anyone in authority was there for a good reason and respect was expected, but kids today are skeptical, and with that, slower to respect.
I mean, if the teacher gives respect, then they'll be respected, but that's just a matter of if you think the teachers deserve respect right off the bat.
It takes time for teachers and students to grow their relationship. Barb Assistant Principal Jerome Goodley says teachers must show patience when dealing with students and the way they address them.
Teachers are always correcting students, all right? If they have a problem with them, they'll correct them. But they also need to hear the student side of what's going on in the class. Why are you acting this way?
That opens a line of communication, trust, and that can turn into a respectful class when learning can take place more seamlessly.
So while some of these students don't feel like some of what they're learning is relevant, or maybe they may go in a different job field in the future, I want them to realize that them working hard, them knowing how to accomplish tasks, them knowing how to work with other people, them knowing how to respect authority, that all those do play into their future.
Teachers say students are their #1 interest and they want to see each student in their classroom grow. Reporting for CPSB-TV, I'm Jasmine Davis.
You can show your teacher appreciation by writing a kind note or simply sharing some positive words.
As teens, there are things that may stop us from striving for our dreams, but that's not the case for all students. 3 standout students in the carpentry program at College Street Vocational Center can't hear the distinctive noises of the shop: sawing, hammering, and drilling. CPSB-TV reporter Trelon White explains these deaf students aren't letting their inability to hear hold them back from building a strong future.
There are multiple barriers between people that range from ethnicity to education, but for these carpentry students, it's communication.
Hearing people don't understand sign language.
Layton Midkiff, Hayden Midkiff, and Dallas Laverne are all deaf or hard of hearing, but that barrier isn't stopping them from reaching for the stars.
In the future, I want to have my own business. I'm going to be the boss. I'm going to college for drafting.
Just as any student gets ready for school, takes a bus, and shows up to class, these students do the same thing. They just have an interpreter meet them at school to translate into American Sign Language.
They really like it. They do just like everybody else. They just need someone to interpret for them.
John Thompson is the carpentry instructor. He doesn't know sign language, but he can still communicate with the class.
Facial expressions, I use a lot of facial expressions, hand movements. I use sample pieces of either tools or wood or something like that, and I kind of bring it together using my hands, and I ask them if they understand. Basically what I'm looking for from them is a nod of approval or yes.
That simple nod is a sign these students are learning right along with their hearing classmates. Communication is just as important to them as it is to us. Hayden, Layton, and Dallas all say it would be wonderful if everyone took time out to learn ASL just as we learned English.
I want sign. I want people to learn sign. I communicate with my friends and I help them learn to sign.
Reporting for CPSB-TV, I'm Trelon White.
The students we talked to said they appreciate any effort by their hearing peers to try to communicate. It can be a wave, a nod, or even a simple handshake that can go a long way to make someone feel included. Teens today face different pressures from every direction.
From cliques to bullying, peer pressure, and social media drama, it's easy to understand why some teens feel discouraged. CPSB-TV reporter Jada Franklin tells us how faith-based organizations on school campuses can be the positive difference these students need.
Integrity, serving, teamwork, excellence. These are the words that high school student athletes at LaGrange Senior High are practicing while they learn these core fundamental values to increase their faith.
I just like hearing the word, and my coach to put me involved in it, and I just like see all the people here and just be motivated on every Friday when we got games coming up.
Jalen Hawkins is a 10th grade student athlete at LaGrange. When he began attending Fellowship of Christian Athletes, it quickly became part of his season's motivation.
It just like got me involved because when it was around like football season, I just like, my coach told me much about it, and I just want to like be a part of it so I could like be encouraged and be ready and go after it on the field.
FCA encourages students and coaches to unite two passions, faith and athletics.
The purpose of FCA is for student athletes to get together on any campus from high school, middle school, as well as college to discuss and share experiences of Fellowship of Christian Athletes.
You'll definitely see lots of student athletes at FCA meetings, but it's open to all students.
This group can get you out of your comfort zone. If you're a timid person, you're shy, you don't really know a lot of people, this can really get you connected to a lot of people and surround you with people that'll help get you out of that comfort zone, you know, and get to share who you really are without being afraid.
Anyone that's a Christian or non-Christians, you're always welcome to come to a meeting. You don't have to be an athlete at all.
And also gives you great opportunities to get to know your fellow teammates and just people, everyone that's joined in. You get to know them personally and get to share who you are with them as well.
Bringing life-changing hope to high school campuses. I'm Jada Franklin, reporting for CPSB-TV.
FCA is not the only faith-based student club on campus at LaGrange High School. A new organization called True Life Change launched this year with the goal of reconnecting students with their faith. So we all have a story to tell, and one student has plans to share his with a worldwide audience.
Our class had the privilege of getting to know an exchange student named Jean from Thailand, who had a common interest in television production.
CPSB-TV reporter Gavan Frazier tells us how Jean is creating a documentary of his time as a high school student in Southwest Louisiana.
สวัสดีครับ Hello, my name is Jean Purisan Hanakon.
16-year-old Jean Siri Hanakorn from Thailand has been living in the lake area for the past 6 months.
I love it here, and I'm ready to learn everything and to grow up more with the different things, different environment.
One of Jean's passions is making videos. He is a reporter for PBS in Thailand and has his own YouTube channel. His biggest project yet, a documentary about his time as an exchange student.
And I have a lot of story that I've learned, I've seen just like from here, and I want to share with everyone. So I took a lot of videos just like Thanksgiving, new things, New Year, Christmas, or even some hard time that I have with the school or with my family. I put all of it in the videos, and I try to make like a videos to send a message to everyone in my country, and maybe more than my country, and to learn and to know what it is like to be an exchange student.
Even though Jean is a student at Lake Charles College Prep, he spent some time in our television production class sharing his experience and love for video making.
I connect with Jean because we both have a passion for filmmaking, and even though that he lives halfway across the world, you know, we still have things in common, and that's really eye-opening to me.
Opening people's eyes is Jean's goal with his documentary.
To send my story, I want to share my story, my perspective to everyone.
Jean will finish out his school year in Lake Charles before heading back to Thailand, and he plans to continue capturing video throughout that last day. Reporting for CPSB-TV, I'm Gavan Frazier.
Jean says he hopes his documentary will be able to air in theaters in Thailand and maybe other places.
Whether it's on the big screen or on his YouTube channel, his story will certainly live on, and we loved getting to know Gene. That's a wrap for this edition of CPSB TV.
Don't forget to like and subscribe to our CPSB-TV YouTube channel. Thanks for watching.